If you are over 50 years old and you have been experiencing bloating, fatigue, brain fog, or even unexplained weight gain, what I am about to share with you could completely change your understanding of what is really happening inside your body. You see, there is a reason why people in certain parts of the world seem to age so gracefully, why they remain active, sharp, and healthy well into their 80s and 90s. And it all comes down to something most doctors rarely discuss with their patients: the health of your gut. I am Dr. Helen Brooks, and I have spent over 25 years as a gastroenterologist, helping thousands of patients understand the profound connection between their digestive system and their overall health. And let me tell you, after studying longevity patterns around the world, I have become fascinated by the daily habits that contribute to extraordinary gut health in certain populations. Before we dive into these life-changing practices, if you have not subscribed to this channel yet, I strongly recommend you hit that subscribe button and tap the notification bell so you never miss another health tip made especially for you. And if you find this video helpful, please leave your suggestions and questions in the comments below. I read every single one of them, and it helps me create more content to help people just like you. Now let me share something that truly opened my eyes. I once had a patient, Mrs. Dorothy Sanders, a lovely 72-year-old retired school teacher. She came to me complaining of chronic digestive issues that had plagued her for nearly 15 years. She had tried everything: countless medications, restrictive diets, even alternative therapies. Nothing seemed to work. She told me, "Doctor, I have accepted that this is just how life is going to be at my age." But here is the thing: she was wrong. Age does not have to mean digestive decline. After implementing some of the practices I am going to share with you today, practices inspired by traditional daily habits from one of the healthiest populations in the world, Dorothy experienced a transformation she never thought possible. Within 3 months, her bloating had decreased by 80%. Her energy levels soared, and she even noticed improvements in her memory and mood. She called me crying tears of joy, saying she felt like she had gotten 20 years of her life back. So what are these practices? What is it that certain cultures do every single day that keeps their gut functioning like a well-oiled machine? Let me walk you through 6 daily habits that could revolutionize your digestive health. The first habit might surprise you because it is not about what you eat, but how you eat. I am talking about the practice of mindful, slow eating. In our rushed modern society, we tend to inhale our food while watching television, scrolling through our phones, or even standing at the kitchen counter. But in cultures known for their longevity, meals are treated as sacred rituals. Here's what happens when you eat too quickly. Your digestive system does not have time to prepare for the incoming food. Your stomach produces less gastric acid, your pancreas releases fewer digestive enzymes, and your gut bacteria become overwhelmed. The result? Poor nutrient absorption, bloating, gas, and over time, a compromised gut lining. Let me tell you about Mr. Robert Chen, a 68-year-old retired accountant who came to see me with severe acid reflux and chronic indigestion. He was taking 3 different medications just to get through his meals without discomfort. When I asked him about his eating habits, he admitted that most of his meals lasted less than 10 minutes. He would eat at his desk, in his car, or standing over the sink. I challenged Robert to try something different. For just 2 weeks, I asked him to sit down for every meal, put away all distractions, chew each bite at least 20 to 30 times, and take a full 20 to 30 minutes to complete his meal. He was skeptical. I could see it in his eyes. He said, "Dr. Brooks, I have been eating this way my entire life. How is slowing down going to fix my stomach?" But Robert agreed to try. And what happened next amazed even me. Within the first week, his acid reflux episodes decreased by half. By the end of the second week, he was able to reduce one of his medications with his doctor's approval. 3 months later, Robert was completely off all digestive medications and enjoying meals like he had not done in decades. He told me, "I never realized I was at war with my own digestive system. Now I feel like we are finally working together." The science behind this is remarkable. When you eat slowly, you activate your parasympathetic nervous system, what we call the rest and digest mode. Your body produces more saliva, which contains digestive enzymes that begin breaking down food before it even reaches your stomach. You chew your food more thoroughly, reducing the workload on your digestive tract. And perhaps most importantly, you give your gut-brain connection time to communicate properly. so you recognize when you are full before you overeat. If you are still watching and finding this information valuable, take a moment to comment below with the number 1. It lets me know you are here with me and helps this video reach more people who need to hear this message. Now let me tell you about the second habit, and this one involves something that might already be in your kitchen, but that you have probably been overlooking. I am talking about the daily consumption of naturally fermented foods. You see, your gut is home to trillions of bacteria, what we call the gut microbiome. These tiny organisms play a crucial role in everything from digestion and immune function to mood regulation and even weight management. But here's the problem. Modern life is waging war on your beneficial gut bacteria. Processed foods, artificial sweeteners, stress, antibiotics, and even some medications can devastate your gut flora. In cultures with exceptional longevity, fermented foods are not an occasional treat. They are a daily staple. These foods are naturally rich in probiotics, the beneficial bacteria your gut desperately needs. We are talking about foods like miso, a fermented soybean paste that has been consumed for centuries, pickled vegetables that are naturally fermented, not the vinegar-pickled versions you find in most supermarkets, fermented cabbage dishes that are packed with diverse strains of beneficial bacteria, and fermented soy products that have been shown to support gut health in numerous studies. I had a patient, Mrs. Linda Morrison, a 75-year-old grandmother of 6 who had been struggling with irritable bowel syndrome for over 30 years. She had tried every probiotic supplement on the market, spent thousands of dollars, and seen minimal improvement. When she first came to see me, she was so frustrated she was in tears. She said, "I have missed so many of my grandchildren's events because I never know when my stomach is going to act up." I suggested a different approach. Instead of relying solely on supplements, I encouraged Linda to incorporate small amounts of naturally fermented foods into her daily routine. We started slowly, just a tablespoon of miso soup with breakfast, or a small serving of fermented vegetables with lunch. The key was consistency, a little bit every single day. The transformation was gradual, but undeniable. After about 6 weeks, Linda reported that her symptoms were becoming more predictable and manageable. After 3 months, she was attending every single one of her grandchildren's soccer games and recitals. She told me, "Dr. Brooks, I feel like I have finally found the missing piece of the puzzle. These foods have done more for my gut than 30 years of medication." What makes naturally fermented foods so powerful? Unlike probiotic supplements, which typically contain a handful of bacterial strains, traditionally fermented foods can contain dozens of different beneficial organisms. They also come packaged with prebiotics, the fiber that feeds your good bacteria, as well as enzymes, vitamins, and other compounds that support digestive health. It is nature's perfect gut healing package. But if that surprised you, wait until you hear about the third habit, because this one challenges almost everything we have been told about nutrition in the Western world. This third practice involves the timing and composition of meals, particularly the emphasis on making breakfast and lunch the more substantial meals while keeping dinner light and early. In many traditional cultures, the evening meal is simple, often soup-based, and consumed several hours before sleep. Why does this matter so much for gut health? Well, your digestive system follows a circadian rhythm, just like the rest of your body. During the morning and midday hours, your digestive fire is at its strongest. Your stomach produces more acid, your enzymes are more active, and your gut motility is optimized. As evening approaches, these functions naturally slow down in preparation for sleep. When you eat a heavy meal late at night, you are essentially asking your digestive system to work a double shift. The food sits in your stomach longer, ferments in your intestines, and disrupts your sleep quality. Poor sleep, in turn, further damages your gut bacteria and increases inflammation throughout your body. It becomes a vicious cycle. Mr. William Parker, a 63-year-old retired fire chief, learned this lesson the hard way. When he came to see me, he was dealing with chronic heartburn, weight gain, and poor sleep quality. He would often wake up at 3 in the morning with a burning sensation in his chest, unable to go back to sleep. His nightly routine included a substantial dinner at 8 or 9 in the evening, often followed by snacking while watching the late news. I asked William to try a simple experiment. Eat his largest meal at lunch, have a light dinner before 6 in the evening, and stop eating at least 3 hours before bed. He resisted at first, saying, "But doctor, dinner has always been the main meal in my family. It is when we all gather together." We worked out a compromise. He could still have dinner with his family, but he would adjust his portions and timing. Lunch became his most substantial meal, and family dinners became lighter, often featuring soup or vegetables with a small portion of protein. Within weeks, William's heartburn had nearly disappeared. Within a month, he was sleeping through the night for the first time in years. And as a bonus, he lost 12 pounds without consciously trying to diet. His wife called me to say thank you. She said, "I have my husband back. He has energy again, he is happier, and he is not complaining about his stomach every single night." If you are finding value in this information, please hit the like button. It really helps spread this message to others who might be struggling with their gut health. Now, the fourth habit is something so simple that you might be tempted to dismiss it. But I urge you to pay close attention, because this practice could be one of the most powerful things you do for your digestive system. I am talking about the daily consumption of green tea, particularly the type that is prepared and consumed in a very specific way. In cultures with exceptional longevity, green tea is not just a beverage, it is a ritual, a medicine, and a daily habit that has been practiced for centuries. Green tea contains unique compounds called catechins, powerful antioxidants that have been shown to support the growth of beneficial gut bacteria while inhibiting harmful organisms. It also contains an amino acid called L-theanine, which promotes relaxation and helps activate the parasympathetic nervous system, the same rest and digest mode we discussed earlier. But here's what most people get wrong about green tea. They either do not drink it regularly enough, or they prepare it incorrectly. The water should not be boiling. It should be around 160 to 170 degrees Fahrenheit, which you can achieve by letting boiling water cool for about 2 minutes, and the tea should be steeped for just 2 to 3 minutes to prevent bitterness. Mrs. Catherine Wright was a 69-year-old former nurse who had developed significant digestive issues after a round of antibiotics for a respiratory infection. The antibiotics had saved her from pneumonia, but they had also decimated her gut bacteria. She was experiencing constant diarrhea, cramping, and had lost nearly 15 pounds because she was afraid to eat. We worked on rebuilding her gut microbiome with various strategies, but one of the simplest interventions was adding 3 to 4 cups of properly prepared green tea throughout her day. Catherine was diligent about the preparation, treating it as a daily ritual rather than just grabbing a quick drink. She would sit, breathe, and sip her tea mindfully, combining this habit with the slow eating practice we discussed earlier. Over the course of several months, Catherine's gut function gradually normalized. She told me, "Dr. Brooks, I never would have believed that something as simple as tea could make such a difference. But it is not just the tea itself, it is the whole ritual of it. It reminds me several times a day to slow down and take care of myself." Research has shown that regular green tea consumption is associated with a more diverse gut microbiome, reduced inflammation in the digestive tract, and even improved metabolic health. Some studies suggest that the compounds in green tea can help strengthen the gut barrier, reducing the permeability that leads to what we sometimes call leaky gut syndrome. But there is more to this story. The fifth habit I want to share with you involves something most people overlook entirely when thinking about gut health. This fifth practice is the consumption of sea vegetables and foods that come from the ocean. Now, I know this might sound unusual to some of you, but hear me out. In cultures with remarkable longevity and digestive health, sea vegetables are consumed almost daily. We are talking about various types of seaweed, kelp, and other marine plants that are rich in nutrients rarely found in land-based foods. Why are sea vegetables so beneficial for gut health? First, they contain unique types of fiber called polysaccharides that act as powerful prebiotics, feeding your beneficial gut bacteria. These fibers are different from the fiber in land plants and seem to promote the growth of specific bacterial strains associated with longevity and reduced inflammation. Second, sea vegetables are rich in minerals that many people are deficient in, particularly iodine, which supports thyroid function and, by extension, digestive health. They also contain zinc, magnesium, and trace minerals that play crucial roles in maintaining the gut lining. I remember Mr. Thomas Hayes, a 71-year-old retired marine biologist who, ironically, had never incorporated sea vegetables into his diet despite his profession. He came to me with chronic constipation and what he described as a generally sluggish digestive system. He said, "I feel like everything just sits in my gut forever." When I suggested adding small amounts of sea vegetables to his diet, he was initially skeptical but open to trying. He started by adding small pieces of dried seaweed to his soups and salads. Gradually, he became more adventurous, trying different varieties and preparations. Within 2 months, Thomas reported that his bowel movements had become regular for the first time in years. His bloating had decreased, and he had more energy. But what surprised him most was the improvement in his skin and hair. He joked, "I spent my whole career studying the ocean, and I never realized it had the solution to my health problems all along." The unique fibers in sea vegetables have been shown in research to selectively promote the growth of beneficial bacteria like bifidobacteria and lactobacillus, while having antimicrobial effects against potentially harmful organisms. It is like providing your gut with a targeted prebiotic treatment every time you eat them. Now, if you are still with me, I want you to comment below with the word gut to let me know you are committed to your digestive health. Your engagement helps this video reach more people who need this information. The sixth and final habit might be the most important of all, and it is something that affects not just your gut, but your entire approach to aging and health. This final practice involves daily gentle movement, specifically low-impact exercise that is performed consistently every day. I am not talking about intense gym workouts or running marathons. I am talking about gentle, consistent movement that supports your digestive system without stressing your body. In cultures with exceptional longevity, people rarely sit for extended periods. They walk regularly, they garden, they practice gentle stretching or movement exercises, and they incorporate physical activity naturally into their daily lives. This consistent movement has profound effects on gut health. When you move your body, you stimulate something called peristalsis, the wave-like muscle contractions that move food through your digestive tract. Regular movement also increases blood flow to your digestive organs, supports healthy gut motility, and even influences the composition of your gut bacteria. Studies have shown that people who exercise regularly have more diverse and healthier gut microbiomes than sedentary individuals. Mrs. Eleanor Stevens was a 77-year-old retired librarian who had become increasingly sedentary after a hip replacement surgery 5 years earlier. She had developed significant digestive issues, including constipation, bloating, and poor appetite. Multiple medications and dietary changes had provided only minimal relief. When I met Eleanor, she told me she used to love walking, but had become afraid of falling after her surgery. She spent most of her days sitting in her favorite reading chair, and while she had healed physically from the surgery, she had never regained her mobility. We worked together to create a gentle movement plan that felt safe for her. It started with just 10 minutes of gentle stretching in the morning, followed by short walks around her home. Gradually, over weeks and months, we increased the duration and added gentle exercises specifically designed to support digestive function. Eleanor's transformation was remarkable. Her constipation resolved within the first month. Her appetite returned, and she began enjoying meals again. But perhaps more importantly, she regained her confidence and her joy in movement. At her follow-up appointment 6 months later, she told me she was now walking for 30 minutes every day and had even started a gentle exercise group at her local community center. She said, "Dr. Brooks, I thought my digestive problems were just part of getting older. I had no idea that getting moving again would make such a difference. I feel like I have gotten my life back." The connection between movement and gut health goes even deeper than digestion. Exercise has been shown to reduce stress hormones like cortisol, which can damage the gut lining and disrupt the microbiome. It improves sleep quality, which is essential for gut repair and bacterial balance. And it supports the gut-brain connection, helping to regulate the complex communication between your digestive system and your central nervous system. Now, as we come to the end of our time together today, I want to leave you with some important thoughts. Everything I have shared with you today, the slow eating, the fermented foods, the meal timing, the green tea, the sea vegetables, and the daily movement, these are not quick fixes or miracle cures. They are lifestyle practices that, when implemented consistently over time, can profoundly transform your digestive health and overall well-being. I have seen it happen hundreds of times in my clinical practice. Patients who were suffering for years, who had tried every medication and supplement on the market, finally found relief by returning to these simple, time-tested practices. The common thread among the healthiest populations in the world is not expensive treatments or cutting-edge technology. It is daily habits, practiced consistently, that support the body's natural healing abilities. If you are over 50 and struggling with digestive issues, I want you to know that it does not have to be this way. Your gut has remarkable healing potential, no matter your age. But it needs the right conditions to heal, the right foods, the right timing, the right movement, and the right mindset. Start small. You do not need to implement all 6 of these practices at once. Choose one that resonates with you and commit to it for the next 30 days. Maybe you start with eating more slowly, really chewing your food and paying attention to your meals. Maybe you add a cup of properly prepared green tea to your morning routine. Maybe you commit to a gentle walk after dinner every evening. Whatever you choose, be consistent. It is the daily practice, not occasional perfection, that creates lasting change. And please, if you are dealing with significant digestive issues, work with your healthcare provider. These practices are meant to complement, not replace, proper medical care. Your doctor can help you identify any underlying conditions that need attention and can guide you safely through any changes to your diet or lifestyle. I would love to hear from you in the comments below. Which of these 6 habits are you most excited to try? What digestive challenges are you currently facing? Your questions and experiences help me create more content that addresses your real concerns, and they help build a community of people supporting each other on their health journeys. If this video has been helpful to you, please take a moment to like it and share it with someone you love who might benefit from this information. Your parents, your spouse, your friends, anyone who is over 50 and dealing with digestive issues deserves to know that there are natural, proven ways to support their gut health. And if you have not subscribed yet, I really encourage you to do so. I release new videos regularly with practical, evidence-based information to help you live your healthiest life. Hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Your gut health is the foundation of your overall health, and you deserve to feel your best at any age. Take care of yourself, take care of your gut, and I will see you in the next video. Remember, it is never too late to transform your health. Your gut is waiting for you to give it what it needs. Start today, even with just one small change, and watch what happens over the coming weeks and months. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, and your journey to better gut health begins right now. I believe in you. Now go take care of that gut of yours. See you next time.